This is the entrepreneur's journey, the 10 steps, 10 stages that entrepreneurs go through on their journey. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Might be some to expect now for Tuesdays, because these edited videos, it doesn't feel authentic to me. I don't really like it. I prefer to just sit and talk, go through it together. Editing this short videos, I don't really like those. So we're going to get into it. The entrepreneur's journey. Step 1 is excited. The spark of an idea, the adrenaline rush, seeing the possibilities everywhere. Examples: can't stop thinking about it, pumped up, you're ready, thinking about the success. The excitement is good. It can build momentum. However, be cautious, as the excitement eventually wears off. A lot of young people. Now, I speak to young people because that's kind of me. But everyone's so excited. Oh, they're so excited. Even the folks who want to go to college, get a degree, get a job, they're so excited. They want to keep going. They want to go. They want to go. They can't wait. They're so excited. Guess what? They set so high of expectations that, yes, it's good. Reach for the stars. You'll land on the moon. I think Kanye said it with some song. But reach for the stars. You'll fall. You'll land on the clouds. Something like that. But that's not how everybody thinks. All these young people, all these people my age, they set so high expectations, but they don't meet those expectations. That's okay. It's reality. But guess what? They get very disappointed in themselves. They start to think mal about themselves. And then they fall down, they fall down, they fall down, and then they stay down. It's similarly to your relationship with God. You're literally setting so high expectations, you sin, and then you fall into despair. And guess what? That's where the devil wants you. Not just the sin, but it's the despair, because that's farther down, that's deeper. So that's kind of how it is. It's good to be excited. It's not good to let that cloud your realistic judgment. You need to be able to think clearly, see what's going on. And the excitement's good because it sparks an idea. It's a nice adrenaline rush. It's a real good opportunity for momentum. But you got to take that. There's a lot of things that I get excited. I've been excited about, and then some stuff starts to kind of push me back. Some stuff pushes you back, but then this leads you to the next stage, because one stage leads to the next, and to the next, and to the next. The second one is doubt. Questions like, am I cut out for this? What if I fail? Maybe investors, friends, or even family members may not share the same vision. Nothing changes as soon as you want. It's doubt. It's doubt. You start to think about it. You start to doubt yourself. Doubt is normal. It's what you do post doubt, how you handle it. What are you doubting yourself on? I want to do these things. Right? And I have plans for them. I make plans for them. That's the excitement. I'm so excited. I get to work on them now. And so I start to do it now. I start to think about it now. I start to plan for it now. I start to call people now. Start to meet up with people now. But then if you start overthinking, you start doubting yourself. And then you get farther and farther away from what you could have been had you not given to that doubt. What if I can't do it? Like I said before, whether you think you can, whether you think you can't, you're right. Hate to break it to you. Well, I actually love to break it to you, because someone needs to tell us. Someone needs to tell you. Nobody's told me. How did I know this stuff? I think not from this specifically, but I already knew it. I don't know where, but I mean, I'm not so old to where I experienced everything, but I kind of learned a lot. But people don't always tell you these things. Whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. You're in control, so why not? Why not think the right stuff? Why doubt yourself? But this doubt is what keeps people away from actually achieving things. And the more they doubt, leads me to number 3, stress. The third stage of the entrepreneur's journey is stress. Long nights, financial pressure, juggling responsibilities, learning new skills on the fly, and maintaining momentum. An example is not knowing how to market, facing slow sales, balancing business with school/work. That's kind of me right now. Keeping your eyes on the prize. Now, I've always, since middle school, I've kept my eyes on the prize. Since high school, I've been juggling school and work slash business. That's my work, business. And not knowing how to market, facing slow sales. That's one thing with insurance is it could not could there's a lot of times of slow sales. I mean, you do have to get up and go do it yourself. You have to go and chase those things, do those things, go meet new people, do all these stuff, which is fine. Although insurance isn't what I drool over. You know what I do? Real estate. I love that. Not as a real estate agent, not as a realtor. Think about it. But stress. You're so excited, then you start to doubt, and then you get stressed out. What do you do when you're stressed? What do you do specifically? You. Because stress can make it or break it for sure. And you're not going to know how to do all these things right off the bat. You're not going to know how to do all these things as soon as you decide I'm going to do it. Unless you're like some research guru. But definitely do have to put in the work, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it for myself. I'm not one to lie. Like if you said, Franco, you're not serious about this. Well, probably not realistically. This is not something that I want to do. This is something I want to do, but it's not something that I'm gonna do learn how to front flip or back flip for it. It's not, I mean, I'd love to do it, but I'm taking it slow, taking my time. And I understand that some stuff is really fast paced. And so that is completely fine. I absolutely understand. I'm absolutely on board. But here's the thing, I like to put things in the hands of God. And if this is making me put the hands for myself, if I have to put in my own hands, it's not something that I want to follow. And I am one. Two, if I don't like the way things are going, I will say something about it. I will say something or do something. So it does lead me to the next step to the journey, and that's quit or grit. After the stress, a lot of people quit, and that's completely understandable. They quit with a lot of things. They quit with church. They quit with sports. They quit with a lot of things. Now, I've quit a couple things, but it's quit or grit. Are you gonna hold out, or are you just gonna give up? The critical crossroad: give up or double down. It's a tough one because you got to go even harder. Many businesses fold here. Others push harder, pivot, or reinvent. This is the moment you discover something about yourself. Grit means persistence, but also smart adaptation, not blinded backflips. You don't do it blinded. You do it with an intent. You do it with a purpose. But when you quit, why are you quitting? Because there's a purpose to everything, right? Whether you know it or not. There's a reason for everything, whether you know it or not. When you quit, maybe you can't handle the pressure. Maybe you can't handle the stress. Maybe you're doubting yourself way too much. Maybe you got overly excited. But this is where a lot of people fold. This is where a lot of people fall. It's either quit or grit. And guess what? It's always the hardest. It's always the hardest right before your breakthrough. And it's difficult because it all goes to religion. It all goes to your relationship with Christ. You quit or you grit, right? You hold it, you double down, or you just give up. You fall off. Everything is like everything is the lessons from God. Here's the thing. In your relationship with Christ, right before your big breakthrough, it's your final test. And that's where it's the hardest, because you either give up or you double down. You either say, Lord, I can't handle it. Or you double down and say, Lord, I know you're with me. Let's do it. Let's do it. One last push, one final breakthrough. And then you break through. And then it's your big success, your big reward. You learn something about yourself, your big character development right there. And then you become something new. The quit or the grit. Which leads to the fifth stage, halfway there. Hold on. Halfway there, right? Is success. The breakthrough moment. First major sale, investor interest, or strong referrals and stuff like that. Maybe your Shopify store hitting $10,000. Service business getting consistent clients. Strong word of mouth. Success is the outcome of your effort, but it can trick entrepreneurs into thinking the journey is over. Ooh, success, success, success. A lot of people stop at that. A lot of people stop at success, and I see that too. even with when I was in high school, even the high schoolers, I'm positive I'm gonna see a lot in college, but I'm certain of it. But a lot of people stop at the success. They feel it. Oh, they're one nice sale. Oh, they're one nice this or one nice referral person. One nice this. One nice anything. They quit at that. They stop. They don't quit, but they just stop. You know, they hold back a little bit. They start to decrease their efforts, which whatever, it's fine. I mean, it's all based on who you are and where you want to be. But success, success, success. It's the breakthrough, the first major sale. It's where things topped off. After all that struggle, step 6 is complacency. Riding the wave too long, ignoring innovation, or underestimating competition. Dissatisfaction. Examples: companies like Blockbuster or Kodak failed to adapt. Complacency kills faster than failure. The same fire that started the journey must be rekindled to sustain it. It wears off. Oh, just like the excitement. After the big event, you're so excited. After some type of breakthrough, after a success, you're so excited. And so, I mean, you have that energy built up. You have that passion, that fire built up. But as the time goes on, you kind of, it wears off. It wears off. Like anything, it wears off. You get excited, doubt, stress, blah 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 blah. It wears off. It starts to go down, 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 down. So what are you gonna do about it? You have to kindle it. You have to put more fuel to that fire. How? By doing things, by keeping busy, by using that excitement and putting it and adding it onto the fire, by doing things that'll relight and burn it brighter, burn it longer. You have to do that. Now I'm one to talk, right? There are things that I was so excited for, but then it starts to die out. Starts to die out. And I knew it was gonna die out, but it's I just wonder, why didn't I rekindle it? Why didn't I do more things? Now I did some stuff, but I didn't go 100%. And so I start to wonder. That's when you start to question. Now it's okay because that's not doubt. That's not questioning what you can or can't do. I'm questioning, what are my thoughts behind it? Is this something that, because there's a reason you don't do certain things. So you just gotta wonder yourself. It's just character development. You understand who you are and what you want. So who are you and what do you want? And if you're not putting some effort into something, why? Maybe it's not bad. Maybe it's not something that you should be putting effort into. But why aren't you doing it? Who are you? For a business, if you've started a business and you're not putting 100% of your effort onto it, why? Maybe you're not a business person. Maybe you're not cut out to start a business or build a business. Maybe you're an entrepreneur, not an entrepreneur. And that's okay. That's absolutely okay. But it's best to know who you are and what you're good at, your skills, what you'd prefer to be. Entrepreneur, or an employee. It's okay. It all depends on you. But number 7 is burnout. Ooh, mental fatigue, loss of passion, questioning if it's worth it. That's the doubt. Wondering. Entrepreneurs quitting despite success because they sacrificed health or relationships. Burnout is a signal, not of weakness, but of imbalance. It's different for everyone. Systems, delegation, and rest are survival tools. I really like how the gentleman mentioned it's different for everyone. Got to understand. Maybe you can't. Maybe this decamillionaire over here is telling you all the things he's been through. Maybe you can't handle all those things he's been through. How he started and then how he became, right? His journey. His journey. Maybe sleeping on floors or no, sleeping outside, being homeless, all this stuff. Maybe you can't handle the same things. So you got to understand what you can and can't handle. It's also mental fatigue, loss of passion. A lot of people lose their passion because of how hard it is, how much it pushes them, how much it beats them up. They lose their passion and question. Of course, they question if it's worth it. Everyone questions if it's worth it. Even going to work, even as an employee, just going to work, you question if it's worth it. Why not just run off to like some Switzerland or Finland and just live out there or something like that? That doesn't sound like a bad idea to me, honestly. Mental fatigue. They get burnt out mentally, not just physically, mentally. And that's a real thing. Entrepreneurs quitting despite success because they sacrificed health or relationships. That's the thing. There's always sacrifices. Even in your path through Christ, there's sacrifices. Letting go of who you are now to become what God wants you to be then, in the future. There's sacrifices to everything. It's what you are willing to sacrifice. Because for God, you have to die so that you're reborn to someone new. What are you willing to sacrifice in your journey through entrepreneurship? Number 8 is reflection. Looking back at mistakes, lessons, and growth, reflecting on the stress, journaling, mentors, therapy, or stepping back from the business. Sometimes you have to take a step back and look at things through a bird's eye view. Reflection turns experiences into wisdom. It's how temporary entrepreneurs become long-term leaders. I love that because it's exactly right. It's how temporary entrepreneurs become long-term leaders through those experiences, through those reflections, through understanding. Because the more you reflect, the more you understand. The more wisdom you kind of give yourself. The more you reflect, the more you understand. So when someone asks me, Franco, they need some advice, and they say, what do I do? I say, well, how about you reflect on it? How about you just take a step back? Take a step back. A lot of people, when they're stressed, they just need to take a step back, breathe, take a chill pill, not literally, but relax. Take a step back, look at it. Now you're calm. Now look at it. Everything is more clear when you can see the whole map. You understand where to go in a video game when you look at the map, right? Instead of just looking in the first person or third person view. Take a step back, reflect. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? What could I change? What should I absolutely stay the same? What this? What that? Reflect. Take a step back. Can't say it enough. Just like in God. Always have to bring God into things. Take a step back. Reflect. Ask God to show you something. Ask God for the understanding, because that'll lead to your wisdom. Reflect. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? Lord, forgive me. I always have to. You can tell. I'm more passionate when I'm doing the sermon Saturdays, because I love to talk about that. Now, the growth videos are very important, so I'll continue with that. Reflect. Number 9, we're almost there, guys. Hold on. We're almost there, is clarity. Understanding true purpose, cutting distractions, realigning values, shifting from chasing money to creating impact. We're focusing on one scalable idea. Clarity resets the compass. You finally know not just what you're building, but why. You have to know your why. You have to be clear on the things that you want. Honestly, it's a step through the journey, but it should be one of your first things that you do. You got to have clarity. You need to know why you're doing this. You can't just do it for the money, because then you become greedy. People see that in you. You need to do it for the impact. There's a lot of people that I've seen had to start GoFundMes because their families in a situation, maybe some health issues, maybe some type of they're too old, they can't work, and they start those donation sites. You shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to ask people for money. You should already have things in place. I help people with retirement because I go to Walmart, and who do you see working there? Old people. Respectively, they're old. My young guys, why do you guys want anyone to be like that? Old people shouldn't be working at Walmart. They shouldn't be working, period. They should be raising our kids, honestly. When we're out working, the grandparents should be taking care of the children. You young man. You young man and you young woman. Think about it. Do you really want to see? Now, I'm going off topic, but Do you really want to see your mom or your dad have to work in their old age to continue to keep up with economy, with prices? Why? Number 10, legacy or reinvention. Is it good? What do you do with everything you've built? Leave it behind or evolve it again? Legacy equals passing the business on, creating generational wealth, making your last name a landmark. Like Tate, like Bet David. Just saying. Reinvention is pivoting into new industries, building something new again. True entrepreneurs rarely stop. It's an eternal flame. It's a passion. True entrepreneurs rarely stop. That's honestly how I find mentors. It's because they can't stop. Even when they actually just can't keep going, they understand that their next step is to pass it on. Their next step is to leave a legacy. Their next step is to pass their knowledge to someone else. Pass it down. And that's how I find it mentors. It's because they I talk to them and they see that it's worth giving me the information, giving me the help, right? And it's always good because you need to have true values, the clarity, know who you are. And so when I speak to them, they say, you know what? Let me help you out. And so then they start to teach me these things. They say, find this property, I'll do the rest for you. Boom, found it. So it's what you want. That's something you need to be clear about. Is whether you want to leave a legacy, reinvent yourself, or nothing at all. Let it all die out. Everything dies out eventually. Name a business from the 1700s. Name a company from the 1800s. Things die out. Continue to build your legacy. Continue to reinvent yourself. Know new things. A big old empire. I met some guy, not some guy. He's a really great gentleman. And I was talking to him over the phone and asking him all these things about real estate, properties, finances, all these things to help me build this. And he said, when he was talking, he was restating what I was saying and just telling me how I could do it. And he called it the Franco Empire. And I'm like, wow, okay, I have a Franco Empire. Because obviously that's the goal. That's the goal, to leave a legacy big enough so that my children can continue to build it all up. Because I want a giant, all this big old portfolio, and then I'm gonna have a lot of kids, and then I'm gonna give each some stuff to them, and then they're gonna continue to build it up, scale it. Let me build a giant foundation and let them build over it. So that's my goal. That's what I want for them. Anyways, but this was a longer video, and I really do like that. And I think I'm going to do it more often. That'll definitely cut out some people because not everyone wants to listen to all this ranting. But this was the entrepreneur's journey, the 10 stages, the 10 steps. Really do hope it touched on you guys. It's very important. Now, where in the comments, how about you guys let me know what steps and what stages you're in? Because I'd like to know. It's interesting. It's good to connect with the people that are in the same stages as you or the stages one above you so that you guys can get help to scale up. So guys, thank you so much for watching today's Franco Built video. Subscribe, like, do all that fun jazzy stuff, I guess. And definitely share it with somebody if they need to listen to it. And without further ado, I'll see you guys on Sermon Saturday. Be blessed. Bye-bye.